light shines so bright, you might go blind. Blind, blind. When I walk through, they close their blinds. I'm gonna show off, I know it's time.
Hello, and welcome to our Team Beauty official podcast. We have today episode number 7, you guys. November 13 on a Monday. We're here. We're going to talk about gratitude today. We have a very special guest. We're going to do a little something different this week. We do have a special guest all the way from San Antonio. She's not physically here, but thank God for technology because she is able to transmit via Zoom with us. So let's give it up for Marbella Terrazas. Hi, Marve. No la escuchamos.
How are you, Valeria,
I'm
how are you?
doing awesome. I can hear you.
Yes, so super excited all the way from San Antonio. You thank God for technology.
Yes.
When I was getting ready, I'm like, man, like how blessed we are.
Yes, Marve. And I know you've been with Team Beauty for 9 years. When we were thinking about this episode and gratitude, I was telling Diego, who comes to mind when we think about gratitude and someone that represents that well? And we thought about you. And so thank you for, in very short notice, saying yes to this, because I know it was a little bit short notice. But here we are. Thank you for being with us, Marbella. And let's get to know you a little bit. I know so many things about you, but I don't think we've taken the time to share with each other our stories. So tell me a little bit about you. ¿De dónde eres? Give us all of the goods.
Well, first of all, thanks for thinking of me. And you know what? I think God places you in the right moments at the right time. And there's a reason why I'm here. When I saw your message, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm ready. Let's do this. So thank you for that. And well, my name is Marbella Terrazas. I'm originally from Mexico, Valeria, from San Luis Potosí. But I've been living here in the US for 20 years already. I got married, and we decided to move over here in San Antonio. And I've been here since 20 years. I'm a mom of two. One is 6, the other one is 9, and just grateful to be able to be a present mom, to be able to be an entrepreneur mom at the same time, to be a present wife, a present daughter, a present tia, a present everything. I just think that I am being able to develop myself in all these different areas because of Team Beauty.
Have you always
Because
had this entrepreneur spirit? Did you always know you were going to be your own boss, or how did that come about?
you know what? Yes. Now that you're asking, yes, I always want that kind of daughter. Mama, buy me all the things that I need to sell raspas. And my mom was like, okay. And she will go to the mercado, buy me everything to do raspas. And then, mom, you know what? Now I want to sell like pulseritas. And my mom always, she never shut me down. So I was kind of girl that always was looking for something to do something. And then I was like, you know what? I want to start working. I was like around 14. And my dad was like, are you sure? Yes, I want to start working at 14. Yes. So I feel like I always knew I wanted my own business. And I always knew I wanted to be in charge of a big team. I always dream of having my office, Valeria, the tallest building with large windows. I don't know if it's something in me, but I always like to dream big. So yes, I think I knew I wanted my own business. I knew I wanted to be what I am right now and better.
Tell us a little bit of how you got introduced into our Team Beauty community.
Well, one of my mentors, Dalia, I remember that we were working together over here in San Antonio, and we saw the movement in McAllen. I remember this one day that we saw that you were doing like a mega fit camp, and we were like, "What's that?" And then Maria said, "You know what? Let me go ahead and see." And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and see." And she went, and that's how we saw the vision, the passion, and what Team Beauty was all about. And that's when she came to me, Marbe, I want to start doing Team Beauty here in San Antonio. And this is how it works. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. To be really sincere with you, Valeria, I wasn't in the best moment of my life. And because of what Team Beauty is and represents, that we're not only like a transformation challenge, I understood that it was beyond the transformation, and I needed that in my life at that moment. So from day one, I was like, I decided to do it for me, number one, because I needed it, but at the same time, bringing growth with me, because I don't know about you, but me, I'm like, I need to commit with others because that's going to make me do it.
Yeah. So how
That's
did
what
you meet Dalia? How was Dalia in your life?
Dalia was basically, she was the owner of the club that I started going to.
So that's how you
And
met her.
that's
And
how
she
I
pretty
met her.
much invited you to the movement.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing. So tell me a little bit, Marbella, since today we are going to be talking about gratitude, we're in the month of gratitude. November is the month of giving, of gratefulness. So what does gratitude mean to you?
You know what? I've been working. I always been so positive, even like in the bad moments. I always been so positive. I'm always been that like, let's do it. Yeah, like I don't think too much of doing stuff. People are like really like square and they have to have like everything, and that's also a skill. Okay, don't get me wrong. We need that in our life too. But me, Marvel, personally, I'm like, I just want to get into action. That's Marvel. And something that helped me a lot is that my dad, my parents were always telling me, chingona. You need to be chingona. You just go ahead and do it. Don't settle yourself. You're made for greatness. And I think that has to do a lot with my kind of attitude. And my dad, my parents, they never finished school, and they have a successful business. They didn't know how to read, didn't know how to write. And I think that set the standards for me. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
So, but let me just tell you something. When I was thinking about the gratitude part, 5 years ago, I found myself, I already had a business, but I found myself in a moment where I was complaining a lot. I was complaining because of the business. I was complaining because where I lived. I was complaining because I didn't like my apartment. I was complaining like, I mean, I'm working so much. We're doing so much. We have always been those people that we pour everything into whatever we're doing. And I really didn't saw it coming what I was dreaming, what I was hoping to be able to come. And then this process of complaining came into place. On top of that, the pressure of the society. Something I have really in my mind, I was always complaining about my apartment. Man, a really small kitchen. Man, I don't even have like a living room. I had my daughter, my first daughter back then. She doesn't even have a place to run. She doesn't even have like a yard to play. Like, it was all about complaining. And then people will come, Marbe, why don't you have your house? You should start buying, because we have 10 years of marriage. And we just, like, 2 years ago, we had a home. So all that pressure, my thoughts, my moment, I was like complaining about everything. I will walk into my apartment, Vale, and it was like, oh, no, I hate my apartment. That kind of mindset. Oh, look at the kitchen. Look at everything. Everything was complaining in my life, in my business, with the people that I was surrounded with. And then this book came into place. If
Right?
you're taking notes, it
See,
was
the magic.
the
The
magic.
book is called The Magic.
Yes. So I remember getting the book and starting reading it. And I was like, it talks about the universe and your thoughts and the way you think, what you are, you attract. And I was like, and then I got more into it. In that moment, I realized that for more to come, to open the doors of being able to receive, I had to be grateful for what I currently have.
Yes, so important. Te quiero interrumpir nada más porque that is a very good thing. And I feel that right now, Marve, there's people out there maybe feeling the way you were feeling when you were complaining about where you live, about why not me, this and that. So I want you to give action to those that maybe find themselves right now, that Marve, the one that would complain, the one that would ask, why me? ¿Por qué no me está pasando lo bueno? Just maybe complaining. And so, what action can you give those people to get out of that rut?
I think that the gratitude starts when you start realizing and just being grateful for everything, like putting yourself into place like, man, I have an apartment, I have where to live, I have where to cuddle. It's raining, but I have a roof on me. Like that kind of gratitude, seeing the positivity beyond your circumstances. And when you start seeing that, Valeria, so many blessings comes into play. So you're not wrong. If you're in that position right now, like it was 5 years ago, it's okay. Do not worry. I mean, it's normal for the hustlers. It's normal because you're seeking for something better.
Yeah.
So that's a normal situation. And I want to tell all of you, like, that's okay. What's not okay is for you to stay there. It's not okay for you to look for the information and how can I become better. And being on this community, you're always like developing yourself, training this podcast, listening to other stories. That's when I heard about that book.
Yeah.
And that's when I heard like that position, that mindset wasn't the right one at that moment. So I have
Yes.
to start looking for something. So I started developing, I started reading the book, and then it gives you different kinds of like activities that you should do, that you have to do throughout the book. That changed my whole life. What I can tell you is that that book has been able for me to open all the blessings that I've been able to receive.
Yeah.
So from that moment, I was like, ay Dios, gracias por mi departamento. I even started like cleaning it, decorating it different, like being grateful. Thank you because I have water. Thank you because I have my little living room. Thank you because I have a bed. Thank you. All my everything that I could thought about was thank you God. I will open the door. Thank you God because I have a place where to come back home.
Yeah.
Thank you because I have a home. Thank you because I have where to sleep my daughter in. Like, and I get the chills, Valeria, porque we can. It's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard with when you're a hustler. It's hard not to see what you're trying to accomplish. No, but it's important for us to learn that there's always a first time for you to start. No, and I wasn't that person like what can I be grateful for? Pero when I started thinking about it, okay, thanking and waking up, gracias Dios for a new day. Thank you, God. Thank you for putting them in a position where I can be and become better. Just saying it like that. And your
Yeah.
mind and your subconscious will start doing the rest.
And I know we were talking about journaling and how it started becoming a habit of yours, maybe during that time where you started reading into it and finding activities to help your gratitude. So, talk about your gratitude journal. How did that journey start and how did it look like? Because maybe we have some of our listeners that want to start journaling in gratitude. So, share with us how that journey started and how it looks like now.
It's crazy because I was so not into journaling. Because in my mind, like remember me, I'm like, okay, I can do it. Like I just have to do it. I know what I have to do. I don't need to be sincere with you. I don't need somebody to come and motivate me. Okay, because my goals, my dreams, my purpose in life motivates me. And something I also want to say is that you cannot leave it to someone else to come and motivate you. So for me, when it came to journaling, it's like, I already know, like, I have it in my mind, like I don't have to write it. I don't need it. But when I actually started doing, when I was like in that position, like, okay, the book says, and that's also a part of being coachable, the book says that I need to write it down. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and write it down. And I had the paper and the pen. What do I write down? Like, I don't know what to write down. So it's just start. You start like little things like I have legs to work out. I have, water, to be able to wash my teeth. Thank you, God, because you're giving me another day. Thank you, God, because I have a car. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, because I've been able to put gas. Every time I put gas and I fill the tank, Valeria, I'm like, thank you, God.
Yes.
Back then, 5 years ago, I couldn't put the full tank. It
Mm-hmm.
was like $5, $10, like just
Yeah.
getting for the whole, just for that day. So yes, little things that you want to be grateful for is like just write it down, like little things. You don't have to write all this list. Eventually, little by little, I was able to write it down, to take a list, driving, meditating, and being that in that gratitude moment, because being grateful will open those doors for those places that will come into the day. So just write it down, whatever you're grateful for, even if you don't know what you have to be grateful because you have a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But
little.
Marve, what would you tell that person that says, I don't need to write it down? That's kind of me sometimes, Marve. I just wake up and I think about it. It's in my mind. I say thanks. I don't have to write it down. And writing down 10 things every day is a little silly. What would you say to those people that, don't see themselves doing it? What do you think there's a difference when you write it down and when you're conscious of what you're grateful for? Or what do you think about that?
No, it is because it's just that sometimes we think we don't have to because we're on the go, right? We wake up late or maybe we wake just on time, so we're always on the go.
Yeah.
Nowadays is like you're always on the go. Pero what I really think is that words have power.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say it, it does have power, but when you write it down,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you attracting it to come into your life.
Yeah.
One. Another thing that I love is because every time you're going to be in a different phase of your life. And once you have like a journal where you can come back and go like at the beginning of the year, and then you see what you were grateful for and how that has changed throughout the whole
Mm-hmm.
year. No, hombre, Valeria, it's, yeah, I get the chills because it's so powerful seeing, oh my gosh, even the way you write, you can see
Mm-hmm.
that you have changed as well.
Yes.
That's the powerful part of writing it down.
Yeah.
So that's why it's key. I know I've been there. I'm guilty. I don't have to write it down. I already have it in my mind. I have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always on the go. No, trust me. Even if you're this kind of person like me, what's next? What can I do more? Like my brain is already thinking on what's next, and the next
Mm-hmm.
event, the
Mm-hmm.
next thing that I can do in my business, the next thing I can do with my family. Trust me, we need to slow it down a little bit, to sit down, relax, reflect, write it down, because you will be able to bring even more ideas into your business, into your life, into your marriage, into your relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your brothers. Once you write it down and you see, and you're able to read it, more ideas and more great blessings will come into your life, because not only you're writing it, but you're reading it and you're reflecting about it.
I think that it has to do with being present, right? And so taking the moment to actually write it down, it just shows that we're present. Como dices tú, we're not thinking about the future. We're present, writing it down, being grateful. And I know that we have a challenge for our listeners today since we're talking about gratitude. So the challenge is to find an old notebook or maybe a notebook, a brand new one that you have there, just sparkling, shining new, and you haven't touched it. Get it out and let's start a gratitude journal. And what did we say these next 17 days, Marbella? What is a challenge these next 17 days?
Just to write down, like wake up in the morning, wake up 10 minutes before. Those 10
Mm-hmm.
minutes will give you that time to wake up, wash, go to the bed, whatever you have to do, sit down. And I was telling Valeria, just one thing that you're grateful for, write it down. Gracias, Dios, porque me dejaste levantarme y hacerme mi tecito calientito. Thank you, God, for allowing me to wake up and go down the stairs and do my tea. I'm grateful because I have water to make my tea. Simple things. And doing it for the next 17 days is the challenge that we have for you. Maybe you're already used to it. Maybe you're not. Maybe this will allow you to wake up 10 minutes before, and not rush into your day, and not rush your kids to get ready for school, because now they're going to have a mom who is in a gratitude position
Mm-hmm.
and is going to wake up her kids in a different way. That's the
Yes.
challenge that we
And
have.
I feel like the challenge can be also each day maybe adding one more until maybe we have a list of 10, right? 20. And I think that's just powerful. And I think we also said, Marbella, no complaining for the next 17 days, which I know is hard because, we wake up and we're like, it's raining, it's, drizzling. But we're not going to talk about that today. Tomorrow is a brand new day. Tomorrow you can start your day with gratitude, and we challenge you to not complain for the
Yeah,
next
no,
17
no.
days of the month.
And you know what? Something about that I want to close with this is that every time that I talked with my ladies, I had this one girl. It was waiting day. It was a Friday, and she was like in a rush, getting ready to wait in. I was like, "Hey, Claudia, how is your day? How was your week?" Oh, it was so busy. I didn't have time for anything. I go, "Wow, that's amazing. That means you had a productive week." And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, that is true. Now, can you imagine how many things you got done during this week?" And then that aha moment,
Hmm.
like turning something negative into a positive thing, that's what's going to make you this gratitude challenge. Because joy with depression doesn't come along.
Yeah.
So that gratitude position will not allow you to start complaining because you're in a gratitude. So do it. Like if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to us, trust me. If you're in this point of your life, you're trying to make a change, if you're trying to attract something different into your life, the gratitude position, it's key for that to happen. It's key.
My last question for you, Marbella, is what are you grateful for?
Oh man, I mean, híjole, that's a really hard question. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the challenges that I have every single day because it makes me become a better person. I'm grateful for the leaders and the person that has come into my life because that has set higher expectations for me. I'm grateful for my daughters because every single day I look forward to become a better mom, and that makes me a better person
Yes.
and a better human being to pour love into this world. I mean, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for every single thing in my life because I have known that that's the key for a better life.
Yes.
I'm
Wow.
grateful for my financial. Maybe they're not in the best place, but I know that I just see I cannot tell you one thing because I think it's a puzzle of everything that comes together to find that purpose for you in your life. And that's me.
Wow,
That,
Marbella, thank you so much for such an amazing way to finish episode number 7. Gratitude is always the answer. Thank you so much, Marbella. Tell us how we can find you on Instagram.
Marbella Terrazas, basically just like that. You can
Marbella
go on
Terrazas. And don't
Marbella.
forget to follow us at Team Beauty Official and for me at validj.fit. Thank you so much for being our listeners, for listening to us. We hope that if you enjoyed this message, that you share this message. Be a blessing to your friends today. And if you think someone needs to hear this, go ahead and share this with someone. We love you. Thank you for being on, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you, Marve. Bye, guys.